Everyday Alchemy. The Lord of the Forest takes the kingdom's throne. Plate 9 of the Book of Lambspring reads as follows. Now, hear a wonderful story. What a great thing I report to you. That the King Almighty pleads for you. Hear what the High Noble says. My enemy have I always fought. I have trod the dragon underfoot. I am a lord and king in the earth. None may be born over me, neither by art or nature. I achieve all that man can desire, giving power and health with more abundant life. Also gold, silver, pearls, and precious stones, together with all kinds of medicine. For first I was of low birth, but I was raised and advanced on high. God and nature have granted it, so that from the worst I became the best, arriving at the great throne to assume kingly rank. Therefore, Hermes calls me Lord of the Forests. Finally, we have reached the second act of individuation. Lambspring's imagery has reached a higher resolution. Now our symbolism has taken human form. A king has been crowned. A son is born. The king here shows the exalted human spirit, our shared destiny of divine rule over self. Here the plate shows the king surrounded by symbolism, hinting towards hidden detail. In his right hand, he holds the orb of the world with a cross of the four elements in perfect equilibrium. Revel in this regal archetype. This phase is the acknowledgement of the positive hero. As for symbolism, the king represents the universal or archetypical man. The embodiment of rulership and governance are aligned with a supreme consciousness crafted with sound judgment and self-control. There are moments in all of our lives where we are able to experience this archetype, personal victories, earned achievements, or accolades, kings and queens in golden crowns. In ancient Greece, both bride and groom would wear crowns to exemplify their exaltation. Me and you have thrones too. God has gifted each of us our own kingdoms. The throne is the body. Take your place. Remember your power. By governing our thoughts, our actions become intentional. This slight change in your mode of operation will eventually accumulate enough energy to outwardly manifest environmental change. This ability to manipulate the multiverse means you must watch carefully for any misguided motivations. When you act in accordance with the laws of creation, the whole universe works in your favor. The deeper we dive into our awareness, the finer reality resolves. The first phase of this process was riddled with discomfort of self-discovery. Now the wrinkles have been ironed out, and our king is clothed. With great power comes greater peril. While you are crowned king, choose wisely which reality you wish to realize. In the image Lambspring left us, this king is also shown with the greatest of beasts, the dragon, dead, defeated, understood, and underfoot. Remember, the symbol of the dragon is the ultimate animating force of the primordial unconscious shadow. The adept must learn the proper placement of their shadow, always present, yet always second, forming a firm foundation for our once fearful footing. The 7 steps ascending the throne symbolize the 7 planes of existence. 7. Damn, that number's something. The wise have wasted countless words revealing these 7 great mysteries. In Gnostic cosmology, the 7 planes of existence are equal to the 7 planetary spheres of the archons, the delusion of the demiurge. Whether you want to chalk it up to chance or choice, it seems this cycle of 7 is superfluous. The 7 deadly sins, one for each day the Lord made. Either way, the holographic transmission of our illusory reality seems to be a fractal frequency streamed from the 7 sisters of the Pleiades, the only star system explicitly stated in the Bible. The same place the angel Moroni told Joseph Campbell he was from, bringing the Book of Mormon. Personally, I resonate with the interpretation by the Gnostics that in order to ascend into infinite awareness, each of us must pass through the 7 kingdoms of the archons, each a planet or plane, referencing a perspective, a state of awareness. I have lived a life of bloodshed and battles before I broke free from the warring ways of Mars. I have also learned to dance around the rings of time. Saturn is but a circular cycle of self-ignorance, men made to measure moments and minutes instead of meaning. With each archon comes a worthy enemy, an endless opportunity for growth and transcendence. This king's crown is the symbol for soul, the emanation of our eternal light made visible through the higher intellect and awareness, complementing every solution with the infusion of soul. The symbolic image of the sun alchemically alludes to creativity, clarity, empowerment, and ultimately self-actualization. The subtle shift in perspective leads to inspiration and integration, simply by identifying with your whole I am self and not just the ego. Part 1 of the Book of Lambspring was primarily concerned with the feminine side of our psyche. Part 2 relates to the development of our masculine aspects, learning to rule reality through righteous resonance, turning our iron fists into open arms, ready to embrace the experience. Many pages have been produced regarding this psychological transformation. Carl Jung was deeply interested in alchemy. Referencing this phase of individuation, he once stated, "The doubts of the philosopher are dissolved through his insight. This insight is our inner light." A wise mystic once wrote the following: "The sun of the one I love has risen in the night, resplendent, and there will be no more sunset. I saw my Lord with the eye of my heart, and I said, 'Who are you?' And he said, 'Yourself.'" Unfortunately, no individual can successfully embody this archetype entirely. There is no perfection when it comes to perspective. We are all given a glimpse of this great illusion, blessing each of us with the opportunity to interpret and experience existence. The self-actualized King Soul is able not to just see the world, but feel the world. This initiates an increase in imagination, creation through relation. Nothing is killed, it is kept. The lower drives, represented as the lower 6 chakras, must be integrated. What a gift it is we have been given to dance with grace. The devil is in the details. God is in the whole. Life is limitless. You are infinite. These pitfalls are just plot twists, character development. The best written heroes were once hopeless. I guess it's never really over, is it? Not for me, not for you, not ever. It's all just beginning, becoming, believing. Once we finally connect with our higher self and align with our individual portion of destiny, we begin to see the beauty in the mystery of reality. The hero archetype is also symbolized in the mythic themes of the divine child, the great mother, and the wise old man. Every human is a hero. Life is a suicide mission. The destiny of the divine is a dangerous and magical quest, an impossible asking, a never-ending story. The greatest adventure is self-exploration, a cartographer of your cosmic consciousness. All of our contemporary cultural icons like celebrities and movie stars are only acting out the hero archetype. When a person in power attempts to act out this archetype entirely, they display a pathological imbalance, identifying with only one aspect. The hero can never fully overcome evil. They can only gain the understanding that good and bad are but aspects of the total state of being. This plate references the Lord of the Forests. As I have stated earlier, in every instance of use, the woods, the wilderness, the sea, the desert, all symbolize the self, not yet self-aware. Lost in the illusion of materialism, when we stop looking out, we can start looking within. Through the intellect and imagination cultivated in earlier life, you are able to access and activate your crown chakra, your third eye, the inward eye of the eternal. When we set out to learn who we are, we simultaneously set out to learn about the universe. The richness found along this journey is reflected in the great art and literature around you. Previously, through the integration of your shadow and development of your ego, you have been able to orient your intention to the light. Gaining the courage and strength of the sun, knowledge of self is your safety line during these highs and lows ahead. The pressure changes. The hero's journey is always the same. The progression is like this: a rough start, abandonment, or calamity. Then the wandering, the aimlessness. Next comes obstacles, eventually overcome with divine intervention, leading to the treasure of self-discovery, then ending with a reunion and reintegration into reality. This is the process of soul making. In every symbol, there is an overarching meaning. Man has many faces. Win or lose, it is truly how you play the game. The dragon-slaying quest is not a destructive one. It is a creative one. The great mother dragon rears its ugly head in humanity today as gross materialism and consumerism. The way we find the guarded treasure is through acknowledgement of the sacred and natural. Okay, let's be honest. No one has all the answers, I sure don't. But what I can tell you is this: the more conscious we become, the more conscious we must be. When you shine the light of self-love in the darker parts of self, you may not like what you see. Rest assured, the dirt was there all along. It's just now you can see it, so clean it. You will find so much power in taking back your destiny. A king commands his own court. The best advice I can give you is this: write down your story, your hero's journey, your life. At first, you can start with the highlight reels, saving the worst for last. Next, write a new narrative surrounding the same situations and symbols. Can you change a tragedy into a comedy? If that isn't alchemy, then nothing is. Your story is just that: story, narrative, mythology. It's all in the way you tell it, to yourself, to others, to God. One of my favorite writers, Kurt Vonnegut, once wrote in the book Slaughterhouse-Five these wonderful words: "Everything was beautiful and nothing hurt." I think that might be what I will have written on my gravestone. At the present moment, I can't think of anything better to say. So I'll leave the letter at this: learn to use the language of metaphor, of symbols and archetypes. It's the only way to truly be understood, to say what cannot be said with simple words. Tell me what it feels like, not just what it looks like. Metaphorical perception transcends conceptual thinking. In closing, Aristotle left us with these words: "The greatest thing by far is to be a master of metaphor. It is the one thing that cannot be learned from others. It is also a sign of genius, since a good metaphor implies an intuitive perception of the similarity and the dissimilar." Now wear your crown and take a bow. The kingdom has come. Long live the king.